Hey guys, welcome to Hey Root Homestead. Today we are raking up leaves and hauling them out to the garden. One thing that we have been working on since we bought this homestead is really regenerating the soil health. And our first year of gardening out here, the soil health was so poor we could not really grow anything. And we brought a couple cows onto the farm, lots of chickens, goats and things, and we used all the manure and brought it out. And this year we had a plentiful harvest in the garden bed that we brought manure out. So what we're doing today is we're gonna get cardboard and we're gonna lay the cardboard down first. Then we're gonna get as many leaves as we can and lay that on. And then we're gonna get all the compost that we have been building up since the spring and hauling all that out on top of that. So we're hoping to get a bunch done today. We will see. So let me show you the compost. Okay, so here we are out in the pasture, and this is our chicken coop. So what we do in the spring is we do deep composting method in both the barn, actually mostly in the coop. We clean out the barn a little bit better, and then we pile it all here. And the pile was probably, I want to say 10 feet tall in the spring, and the chickens kind of eat off of it and turn it. And so, thank you. I don't know what these are for. For what? Okay, give this back to Daddy. I don't need any screws. Okay, tell him I don't need those. He needs those. So this is beautiful, rich dirt underneath here. This is like a buildup of the last 9 months of composting. So if I can dig under here and show you this black dirt. I mean, we're talking manure, eggshells, food scraps. Yeah, lots of things. So the goal is to get the cardboard down, then the leaves, then the compost on top of that before it's supposed to snow this week. So we'll see. So now let's go out to the garden and I will show you. My littles are hauling cardboard. Alright, so this was the row that we heavily composted this year. And this was the row that got crazy amounts of yield. I still have a lot of peppers that I'm gonna need to pull. So today I'm going to be cleaning all this up, and then we're going to focus on these first few rows and lay cardboard and compost because we're going to be building an irrigation system in the spring. So let's work on that. Okay, so the goal here is to try to leave the roots in the ground while pulling up the stalks and the plant mass and laying it back down in the bed so that it can get turned into soil, and then covering it with cardboard or paper or something, and then putting leaves on top of that and more compost on top of that. So that's kind of the deal, to add more matter to the ground. But you do want to try to leave the roots in the ground, because those root systems are what allow water to get deep into the soil, air, so you can get earthworms and good bacteria growing in your soil. So that's pretty important to try to use every part of even your retired plants to promote growth the next year. And I also pulled all of these peppers off these plants, so we're gonna dry these out and then add them to soups and stuff throughout the year. Of course, our animals come out and help us eat down some of the weeds, and they can come clean up the last of the produce. We are picking up a pig on Sunday that we'll be bringing on the farm to help us till these garden beds. We can fence them in small areas and they'll root up the ground. So that'll really help preparing these beds for planting. So we tore down part of the fence to bring in some leaves. My husband's all upset because he can't back a trailer up. Hey, quit eating all my peppers. I did the work of picking these. I called you over and you didn't do anything. Look at Moshi munching on it. How's that, Moshi? That's some good stuff? That's some good stuff? Another thing I wanted to share is another way we prepare our beds for the winter is we plant cover crops. So last year we planted a ton of cover crops, all different types. This was a mix of, I think, 7 different types of grain that we didn't harvest. Also, we threw clovers and stuff in here, and we just let this thing do whatever it wanted really for the year. This was our potato patch last year. And I actually saw quite a few potato plants coming up, which we were gonna maybe go and try to dig out. But the vision with cover crops is a lot of them put nutrients back into the soil, specifically nitrogen, because our land is very, very deficient in nitrogen. So a mix of those cover crops does well. We also planted the cover crops in this field. And in this one, we actually harvested all of the barley. This was all barley. And here's the stalks from doing that. We just wanted the experience of threshing wheat and what that was like. But you definitely need machinery to harvest enough to do anything with. Here was our sunflower patch. We got to enjoy these a lot through the summer, and we're just kind of letting them die and their seeds, well, whatever the birds don't eat, fall back into the ground. So here we attempted to plant some corn, but again, we are very nitrogen deficient. So we did sprinkle some cover crops across all of these fields last year, but we decided a better approach is to focus on a portion of the garden at a time, building it up, and then eventually getting to the whole 2/3 of the acre. All right, show me your cardboard hauling system, Aryeh.
We put all the cardboard on there.
Yeah?
And then I ride the little girl's bike.
And what does Evie do?
I push it with her. Yeah, she pushes it.
Go get us more cardboard so we can see it in action. So some of you may be wondering why cardboard. A couple reasons that we chose cardboard is it is a barrier for weeds. So there are weed seeds even deep within the soil, and when you till and things like that, you're really disrupting the topsoil. So the topsoil is like, there's supposed to be, from my understanding, like several inches of good, rich, nutrient-dense soil on the top. And because of over irrigation, they've really like washed away the topsoil. So the idea behind laying cardboard is to put a barrier between all of the weed seeds that are in the ground or the weeds that are growing up, so that they don't get enough sunlight and air and things to grow. And then on top of the cardboard, and the cardboard will decompose and actually turn into organic matter, which will help feed the soil in the long run. So it's better than that fabric that doesn't break down. There might be fabric that does, but I know there's fabric that doesn't break down. And it's also better than plastic, which also doesn't decompose and leaches into your soil. Not to say that cardboard is perfect, because there's paint on it and chemicals probably and things like that, but we found that it's the best option. And so we lay the cardboard and then the leaves and then the compost on top. Again, the leaves are just more organic mass. You're just trying to bring in as much mass as you can, and then piling it all up so that it can decompose and feed the soil and the plants. If you ever go into a forest and you look at the ground where all the leaves have laid and you pick up a handful of that, you'll notice how rich it is, how it smells like dirt. There's tons of bugs and worms and things like that. So our natural soil here, if you can see, is pure sand, okay? You can dig as deep as you want and pull it up, and you don't see a single nothing living in it at all. It's dead. And the only thing that really grows on it is weeds. So that's kind of the mission here at Hayroot Farm, or Hayroot Homestead, is we're really trying to see the soil come back to life and bring a biodiverse, like a diverse life out here. Bugs, insects, worms, birds, ladybugs. I mean, we want to see things regenerate. So instead of tilling up the soil and pulling all that nutrients out and removing the topsoil, we are coming at it with an approach of adding layers and layers of nutrients to the soil. So that's behind the cardboard. So I'm going to finish laying this cardboard so that they can haul out another row. Observation I wanted you to notice is we have laid cardboard and compost on these beds already. So continuing to lay layer after layer after layer is really beneficial for the soil. Good job, buddy. You put a pig skull on it. Yes, you did. You can't smell this, but this smells like dirt. This is some good stuff. This is some thick, black, rich dirt. That's what I'm talking about for the garden. This is what gardens are made of, right here. Okay, so the sun is setting, and I got this pile, and then this pile, and that pile of more fresh straw. So I got all that dug up, and they're gonna come and haul that out. So we have 1 row, 2 row, 3 row, and then we have, we have hay on this row, 4 row with hay, 5, 6, 7, 8 with leaves, all 8. So they almost got it done last night. Looks like they got 1 more load to do. We are getting a massive 5 or 6 day storm coming tonight. So let's go see how much they got done. All right, looks pretty good. Got several inches of compost on these rows. Looks like they need to finish the middle of this one. thanks guys for tuning in to Hey Roots Homestead. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to share it. Subscribe to our channel if you're not already, and then also check out our Instagram and our Facebook page and go ahead and like those and follow those for more content. I'll often put up different details or photos or different instructions and things like that. So go ahead and check those out. And remember that Jesus is coming. Bye guys.